Bradley and councilors. My name is Ken Kawall. Full disclosure, I'm a member of the Region's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee, but I'm not here speaking on behalf of the committee. I'm addressing you tonight as a resident of the town of Lincoln. And I'm here to ask you not to ratify the Planning and Economic Development Committee motion to deny changing the terms of reference of the DEI Advisory Committee. Sorry. Clerk, were there slides?
Go ahead.
Okay, I submitted them with my delegation last Wednesday. Anyhow, I'll go ahead. Under its mandate, the Region's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee is to provide you with information, advice, and recommendations on matters pertaining to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the mandate actually goes on to say, goes on to identify it as matters relating to anti-racism and the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. I should point out that's not a singular community, but many different communities. It was really disappointing that the PEDC agreed with the staff report that topics such as having or supporting an anti-racism town hall, discussing an anti-hate sign bylaw, okay, 2S LGBTQIA issues, as well as considering an anti-harassment bylaw, are, and I'm quoting here from the staff report, they're external to the region and outside the mandate and jurisdiction of the region. This makes no sense to me, given the committee's mandate. More importantly, the PEDC decision prevents the DEI Advisory Committee from providing advice on any DEI topic unless requested by Regional Council. And in the 9 months that the committee, since it was established, Regional Council have not actually requested the Advisory Committee's input and feedback on any DEI issues. I'd like to just share with you one example of a DEI issue that I think has been languishing and really needs attention, and that is addressing racism. Okay? I'm sorry you don't have the slides, but racism is a problem in Niagara, and it's an issue that's been long ignored except by those experiencing it. Through the region's actions or inactions, it appears to racialize communities that the council is completely unaware of racism in Niagara. Your own region's DEI experiences report from January 22 highlighted, citizens expressed the possibility of being a potential target of racism at any time and anywhere in Niagara. Can you imagine living with that kind of anxiety? There's also a quote in there, and let me read it to you. It says, from some citizen who replied to your survey, I've lived all over Canada and the world, and I've never seen overt racism like I have here in Niagara. I think that should be a wake-up call for all of us. This is not the safe and inclusive community we think Niagara is. So what can be done? In September 2020, the region signed on to Coalition of Inclusive Municipalities. One of the objectives of that coalition is to establish policies and to eradicate racism and discrimination. Yet almost 4 years later, the community is not really aware of any such policies or a plan. During the same time, other upper-tier municipalities have taken action, and I believe we can learn from what they have accomplished. One of the great examples was from York Region. And if I was to translate that over to Niagara Region, wouldn't it be wonderful to see Niagara Region's Council, quote, acknowledge and denounce systemic racism, commit to learn more, do more, and be a champion for change. That would be absolutely wonderful. Niagara needs a plan to address racism, and the options appear very limited. None of the region's 5-year DEI action plans specifically address the issue of racism. The 1.5 staff you have dedicated to DEI are fully occupied, and the DEI Advisory Committee, unless requested by Council, cannot provide you any information, advice, or recommendations on regional DEI issues. Your DEI Advisory Committee has 10 capable and qualified citizens with lived experience who've signed up to help the region, and some of them are frustrated that they cannot. I'm asking Council not to ratify the PEDC motion to deny changing the terms of reference, to empower your DEI Advisory Committee so they can help you and the region achieve your strategic priority of an equitable region. If you choose to ratify the PEDC motion, then I'm going to ask you, the council establish a regional plan to address and eradicate racism.
That's your 5 minutes. If you have anything you
I
want
have
to
one more
conclude.
sentence, yes?
Yes, go ahead.
Niagara citizens have been waiting a long time and looking for your commitment and leadership. Please don't let us down. Thank you very much.